Welcome back to The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Previously, I entered the Fire Temple, got quite a far way through, and this time I'm going to continue on. I don't think I'm halfway through exactly, but I tried to figure out the best place to stop. The Fire Temple is kind of weird. You get the weapon that you need to complete the temple pretty close to the end, so I didn't want to, get the weapon and then stop, because then I'd have about 5 minutes and we'd be in kind of a great Jabu situation right there. But this area is quite similar to an area we saw before. Fire, switch, you know what you gotta do. I believe the switch is right down here. Right around, I don't even know, I can't see it. Yeah, there it is, okay. So I'm gonna drop this bomb like I did previously in a different area. It's not that hard to figure out. It's the same as previously. I've said previously a lot. I don't know. Commentary might be a little bit interesting here. I've been doing a lot of work on something else that has to do with commentary, and that wasn't going fantastically. I did have to do a few re-recordings of things, but I decided, you know what, Ocarina of Time isn't as information heavy as what I was doing before, so I thought it might work out. But anyway. This room is pretty dang big. There's a kind of a spiraling staircase, though it's very thin. And there's an area down there which leads to death. So let's not fall down there. We're going to press the switch, and right up there, that fire will go away. But like every other fire, we can magically, mystically just kind of make go away at the snap of a finger. It's time. So we have to run up here pretty quickly and get to this chest. It's not terrible. The movement isn't too precise, though it can be kind of annoying if you don't have the movement down to a T. But there we go. We got the item of this dungeon. This might turn out to be a great Jabu-esque dungeon, because I didn't know the item was this close. But it's fine. You found the Megaton Hammer. Press C to smash and break junk. It's so heavy, you need to use 2 hands to swing it. So, this hammer is pretty dang cool. Some people even use it for combat, though I wouldn't recommend that. So you hold it in 2 hands, it acts like a 2-handed weapon, and you swing. It does a decent amount of damage to enemies, as well as it does certain things that I guess I'll show off right now, because we do need to use it immediately. Right here. This area looks a little bit weird. It looks out of place. If you use your Megaton Hammer, slam it down, that section will fall. There we go. Now I'm down here. And there are these things. We saw some of these in the beginning of the dungeon. And all you have to do is hit it. And fun fact, if you look over here, those blocks just shrink. They skid across the ground, and I guess they get rubbed so much, or the friction is so bad that it actually rips away their entire being. It's weird. Anyway, this area is pretty neat. There are boxes over here. You don't want to break them, because what you want to do is, first of all, take care of these keys. I wonder if I can snipe them from over here. There we go. I got one, and I got the other. That wasn't too bad. I can use the Megaton Hammer, hit this, because it has a face on it, and anything with a face can be hit with the Megaton Hammer, pretty much, except for people. But that would be pretty interesting. I can jump down here, and there is a switch here. You want to grab this block so you can put it down on this switch, because without this block, you won't be able to open the door for extended periods of time. But there we go. Making me look like a fool. There we don't go. Now I have to get a lot closer. It looked off to me a little bit, but I didn't know how off it was, and I thought it would work, but apparently not. Down here, I'm not going to first person view. There we go. Down there we see a room that we've already been into, the one with the pillar. And right here we see something similar to the pillar. We hit that. Oh, if I can jump down. If I can jump down. There we go. This will drop a block. I thought that was the pillar for a minute, but apparently not. And what I can do is go over here, smack this down, and knock that pillar down into a lower room. We don't have the boss key just yet, so we can't go back there and enter the boss room just, well, yet. The switch I was trying to hit looks rusted, as Navi says. What you want to do is take your Megaton Hammer, hit it down on that switch, and there you go. There aren't a lot of switches like that in this game. They just kind of appear right there and then they disappear and are never found again. Something I don't like about some Zelda games is that a lot of the items are situational, and I think the Megaton Hammer definitely suffers from that. It's not used very frequently past this point, which is such a shame because it's so cool, but you can use it for combat if you don't have another weapon, but it's really not that useful. I don't use it in combat. You aren't allowed to shield while holding a two-handed weapon. Hello? I went quiet for a second because I'm supposed to be playing the Song of Time. I tried it 50,000 times. I am playing it correctly. There we go. I don't know why that wasn't working. That was a little bit weird. The Song of Time's been giving me a lot of problems. I don't know why. And I do feel it's definitely because of the analog stick. I've already whined about that enough, so I don't want to talk about it again. Over there. The camera's a little bit weird, but it's an N64 game, so I'll cut it some slack. We can jump onto this song, or this block of time, my apologies. That means we can get up here. This area was previously covered by that block of time, and now I can pull out my Megaton Hammer one more time. I don't need to use my bow right now, so I'll just put that away. I can smash that down, and the Goron that we saw previously, we can finally get to. So here he is. Are you releasing me? Am I free to go? I'll tell you a secret for saving me. A door is hidden inside the statue at the entrance of this temple. But the Goron special crop won't work on it. Don't you have anything stronger? Yes, I do have something a little bit stronger. In fact, it's a hammer. So he's pretty much telling us what we have to do. Go back to the beginning of the dungeon, and then we can use a small key to open the door that's blocked, because what else are we going to use a small key on at this point? And then we can get, hopefully, the boss key, though there might be a few areas after that. I'm trying to keep a little bit of suspense and not tell you exactly what's going to happen, though I did kind of spoil it. There's nothing past this point. We are almost at the end of this dungeon. Right there, we luckily won't take any fall damage, because that would have snapped my legs, at least. And with that, we're easily able to go back to the beginning room. We don't have to do a lot of backtracking, which is always nice. This guy can go away. Can you? Thank you. I don't know why Link's sword slashes are weird. I don't like them on occasion. Sometimes he does a horizontal, sometimes he does a vertical slash. It's just strange. But there we go. You can open this door now. We have all the means necessary to do that, and I'm gonna pull out my bow and arrow because I really don't want to have to deal with these guys. They're kind of annoying. I think I can use a hookshot on you. Yeah, I can use a hookshot on fire keys. I don't know about you. I can, but it doesn't work very well because it doesn't do any actual damage. So if these guys are on fire, the fire torches, or whatever they're called, I forget. Let me check just to be sure. Torch slug. Torch slugs will charge at you if they're on fire. Once they stop being on fire after you hit them, they will not charge at you anymore. I believe I've already talked about that, but I just wanted to make that clear because I didn't talk about the fact that they would charge at you. But yes, they'll get all big, they'll freak out, and then they'll charge at you. Hit them a little bit, they're not a big deal. But there we go, killing all those enemies will open up that door, we can finally continue on. And there's a gold sculpture over there, but a few more tiles. I wonder, there's no enemy bio, no. It doesn't look like there's any enemy bio for these guys, because they are just kind of, you know, tiles on the floor. But I don't know, I'd never thought about the fact that they might actually be enemies. You can get out of here real quick. I really don't want to be swallowed by you. Should I show it off? No. No. Essentially, if those guys do steal anything you're wearing, once you actually do kill them, they'll spit it back up, and they'll just appear on the floor. If you don't pick them up, you might have to go buy a new piece of armor and or shield. But that's just the way I see. I mean, that's not. I don't even know what I'm talking about. What I'm trying to say is that you have to go buy new stuff if you don't actually do a good job picking those guys off and getting your stuff back. But this guy's here again. We have to kill him one more time. They used this mini-boss twice. Why? I don't know, but they did. Really, he's not that interesting second time through. In fact, he's exactly the same, so I don't know why I'm saying not that interesting. He's really not interesting at all. I don't know. The Fire Temple's weird for me. I do like the puzzles in it, but a lot of the time, the mini-bosses are just, they're weak. The boss of this dungeon is also relatively weak, but The mini-bosses they use here, they're just so uninteresting to begin with, and, yeah, I don't know, that's just the way I see it, and also visually the Fire Temple is just not that interesting. The first 3 dungeons, while not being interesting puzzle-wise, definitely had a very interesting aesthetic, and then the temples in the adult section of this game don't really follow suit, to be honest. The Fire Temple is your very basic temple of fire, and the Forest Temple was, well, much of the same except with a forest, and it's relatively annoying because they had great Jabu Jabu, and that was a really interesting dungeon visually. You went inside a tree for the forest dungeon, and that was, or for the inside Great Deku Tree, the first forest-esque dungeon, and that was really neat, that was really fun. And then you had, Dodongo's Cavern was pretty boring, but I think visually it was more interesting than the Fire Temple. And, I don't know, I just found those a lot more visually interesting than what we're going to be seeing in the adult section. Though I do think, puzzle-wise, the adult section is much better. Am I sounding confusing? That's probably the case. I don't know. But now we're finally able to get the boss key. Is this the right side? It looks like it. I don't like the texture of the boss chests at all. Not only are they so out of place and visually kind of ugly, but you don't necessarily know exactly which way to go from if you want to open the chest, because you do have to open chests from a certain perspective. You're not allowed to go behind a chest and then open that chest up. You have to be in front of the chest if you plan to open a chest up. It's weird. I don't like it that much. They fixed that in later installments such as Breath of the Wild, but I don't know. It's not a big deal. It's just kind of a little point of contention for me. But with that, we're able to enter the boss room. This area looks pretty intense. There's holes of lava on that battle arena type thing. It's just very, very interesting looking. With that, our path of escape has been, well, cut off. And now, let's face the Subterranean Lava Dragon, Volvagia. This boss has the possibility to prove troublesome. I say that because sometimes I actually do die on him just because I'm a little bit reckless with this, but he's really not hard conceptually. All you have to do is wait for him to pop his head out, get very, very close to you. Sometimes he'll fly, you want to avoid him when he flies, but when he pops his head out, hit him with the Megaton Hammer. His tough shell will crack open for his head, I guess. I don't know what is his head just strong, and when I hit it with the Megaton Hammer, it just breaks a tough shell on his head, because I can't hurt him with my sword before I hit him with the Megaton Hammer. It's kind of weird, but the point is hit him with your Megaton Hammer, and then you can actually do damage with your sword. I'd recommend doing spin attacks, and, well, that's pretty much the entirety of this boss. It's not too interesting, but he can do a lot of damage. As you see, I'm pretty dang low on hearts already, so this might prove to be troublesome. I don't think I'll get a game over because I have, what, 2 fairies, but it is kind of annoying to deal with this guy. I might as well, you know what? I have milk, and I never find myself using this. I really never do, so I might as well use it. Recover a few hearts, and now I have another empty bottle I can use to put fairies in. I also have... Oh, I forgot. Yeah, there's 2 uses to the milk, so it is actually pretty useful. I'll save that for a rainy day, and by a rainy day, I mean next time I take a whole crap ton of damage. What am I trying to say? Volvagia will go up into the ceiling, and he'll knock down a bunch of rocks. You do want to avoid the rocks. You can kind of see where they're going to land because there's going to be a shadow on the ground, so it's not hard to read his attacks. So you might think that, oh, Volvagia is just going to pop out wherever you see the visual effects for the fire. That's not true. Sometimes he will kind of spook you, trick you up a little bit. He'll pretend that he's going to pop out of another hole, but then come out of a different one. I don't know. It's not that interesting. This boss fight, while I do like it, it's just alright. I mean, it's not that cool. Though I do really like the visual of us fighting this lava dragon. I don't know, it's pretty neat. I do like the bosses in this game a lot, but sometimes they can feel kind of eh. Maybe that's because I've played through this game more times than I can count, so they've kind of lost their feeling, their meaning to me. But I don't know. The point is, this guy's actually pretty fun to face, but he's somewhat uninteresting. All right, and there's another reason I say that. It's because once you actually do fight him, and you get past like one phase, you will see everything he has to offer. He doesn't have some kind of pinch form where he starts getting a lot of damage taken to him and then he decides to come up with new attacks and or do more damage. No, there's nothing like that. He's pretty dang simple. He has about 3 to 4 attacks, and on consecutive playthroughs it just feels relatively boring, I guess. Though boring's not the right word for it. I definitely do like this boss, and I shouldn't talk this much crap about it because it's definitely fun and I definitely do like it. It's just, I don't know. I like to whine about things. It's a hobby of mine, I guess. I don't know. I actually wonder if I weapon bio, oh my god, I'm thinking of something completely different. If I do a bio on this guy, Volvagia. It's the boss of the fire temple, revived by the evil king. I don't know its weak point. Well, I've already been utilizing his weak point for the past how many minutes? I don't know, a decent amount of time. I wish they kind of did change the bios to fit what you've already done, so if you do know his weak point, then you will be able to see that change within his bio. So, I don't know, I might have said weapon bio again. If I did, I apologize. I have my mind on something completely different right now. The thing I was talking about has to do with something completely different that I'm putting a lot of effort into. But there we go, that's not important. What is important, though, is that we just absolutely murdered this dragon. Unlike Mario, Zelda doesn't pull its punches. The bosses don't disappear in a puff of smoke. That happens. That is one of the creepiest and relatively saddest moments in any Zelda game I've ever seen. Because he's still kind of alive by the time you kill him. His mouth was moving when his head disappeared and turned into fire. Let that sink in a little bit. That's just messed up on a whole bunch of levels.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate what you did. I thank you on behalf of the entire Goron race. You turned out to be a real man, just as I thought you would. By the way, I, the Wild Darunia, turned out to be the great sage of fire. Isn't that funny, brother? Well, this must be what they call destiny. Nothing has made me happier than helping you seal the evil here. Hey, brother, take this. This is a medallion that contains the power of the fire spirits, and my friendship.
And with that, we've obtained the Fire Medallion. Darunia awakes as a sage and adds his power to yours.
Don't forget, now you and I are true brothers.
And with that, we've completed the Fire Temple. We are completely done. We actually do have, I believe, 20 gold skulltulas at this point. 21, in fact. So we do have a little bit more to do in Kakariko Village, so I will do that next time. But we're done here. There's nothing really left for me to do within this area, within the Death Mountain crater. There's a heart piece around here somewhere that I really do not know how to get. So that sucks to suck, I guess. I'm not exactly going to know how to get that, and I won't show it off. But just know that if you want another heart piece, there is one in here. But that's enough of me. You probably are sick and tired of hearing my voice. You probably want this video to end. So it is ending now. Next time on The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, I'll continue on, start making my way towards the next temple, do a few things within the world, and just have a lot of fun. Do some fun stuff. So, until next time.